Hey everybody, what's going on? This is Chance from Clutch Airsoft. I was here doing a little video, and I've noticed that there's not a ton of new people, kind of Q&As. So I kind of wanted to get in a quick little video before the night's over with. It's already 2 in the morning. Um, so yeah, comment down below if you have any more questions. Like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. Share it, please. It helps me with my new channel, starting out. Okay, we're gonna jump right into question number one. Now, most players, they assume whenever they get a gun, shoots 350 to 400 in that range, they think it has more range than a, let's say, 280 FPS Tokyo Marui. Now, Tokyo Marui has really excellent internals, but they shoot a little on the low side for FPS, and their range is like surprisingly like really good for their stock hop up, bucking, and barrel combo. I really like those. Now, when you get a 350 FPS rifle, that's a good, in the medium. Like, you can play CQB, and you could even go outside, like, and you know, they could still feel it from afar. Most people are gonna think that like most new guys. We're not gonna say most people because a lot of us are experts when we come to this. We know what's going on, but most new guys are gonna come in and they're gonna think, well, I have a 500 FPS rifle. Mine's gonna go twice as far as your 400 FPS rifle. Now that's not the case, considering I could have a EDGI barrel in it with the R hopped, and I'm running .3s. I'm definitely gonna outrange most people with 500 FPS. You know those Springer sniper rifles that come out pretty hot. Stuff like that. So that kind of answers the question. And FPS equals range, not to an extent. I mean, you're definitely probably gonna have a little bit more range than a 80 FPS rifle. Okay, gonna jump into this. I get a lot of questions from friends that start out playing. They say they want to get the Mesh iPro because it doesn't fog, and that's pretty cool. Mesh is a quality iPro to a certain extent. Now, I don't have any iPro here. It's not my house. I'm at my aunt's house at the moment, but I run a dye mask, so it's a full face mask. It covers my mouth and all that stuff. So I'm pretty good at the dye mask. From my experience, has never fogged on me, and I played a ton of games with it because it has the dual thermal paned lenses, and has the vents on top, and you have the vented mouth. Sorry, you have the vented mouth um, spot. Now, they get a toss up between mesh or full seal, and I really like to guide new players to the full seal, and full seal goggles, I should say. Sorry, full seal. All mesh iPro or full seal that I know of, but full seal goggles to me are a lot safer because you never know who's going to be using what quality BBs whenever you step out to the field. Now, a lot of the BBs that come from Walmart, the Crossman .2, I think they sell .25s. I'm not too sure, but their BBs break a lot. So it's not specifically saying that, yeah, like your mesh may not break if somebody shoots it with a 400 FPS rifle, because that's what you really need to test your mesh with. You need to shoot it up close with the 400 FPS rifle, your strongest gun that you have with you, and if it breaks or dents pretty good, like, it can be dangerous. I mean, your eyes are the most important thing. Screw all the $1,500 kit that you have. Your eyes are important. Nobody wants you out there losing it or nothing. But so yeah, I've seen a lot of that. But like, also, you know how they're all black? That's paint on the silver mesh. So let's say some kid, he's using .2s or .12s. A lot of people bring .12s to the field. Sometimes it's awkward. Never really want to use .12s in a game. But anyways, say they're running .12s in their gun and Crossman. Let's just get all that out of the way. Using crappy BBs, and they shoot you. Well, a BB could possibly break and go through that tiny little hole. It happens. There's been cases of it. You can look it up. I mean, if I had evidence right now, I could pull it up. I mean, I just have to do a 15-minute search on Google and I'd find all the stories. Or something else that happens that a lot of people don't like, that paint, or that it's not paint, my bad. It's like a black metal over it, but it just shaves off really easy. It will get through there after being hit. It may not even dent your eye pro, but it can get in your eye and affect your eye, and it could get infected and so on and so on. So that's why I always tend to give people to goggles or full seal mask with goggle combo, like a dye, if they have the budget for it. Something else a lot of people are doing now for that, I've seen a few people say it's for the realism, or no real soldiers are running around with mouth protection. This is a big thing, mouth protection. Teeth can get really expensive, especially like when you got to go replace half your tooth or your whole tooth. There's even been a case with a few people I've played with that he said that he shot out a tooth at an op, and I mean, the guy was cool with it and everything. I mean, can't really be mad at the guy for you getting shot in the mouth. That's how we play. Sometimes that happens. But yeah, your mouth is definitely important. I would recommend the mesh face pro, just because, like, those crappy BBs, I mean, if they get through them, it may just like hit you right here or something like that. No big deal. You're gonna be okay. The mesh face pro, a lot of people wear, or just like me, again, I'll recommend the dye I4. It's really nice for the price. I mean, I got mine really cheap from a guy at a buy sell trade day, but it's really good, really good mouth protection. And you can even a lot of people wear mouth guards, for football and stuff like that. You mold them to your mouth, you put them in boiling water or so on. Yeah, they're really good. You cut the little thing off, and a lot of people like those. I personally wouldn't run it. I don't like my mouth being obstructed, like if I'm trying to talk. But yeah, a lot of people run that. And okay, got that question out of the way. We're gonna go with barrel setups now. A lot of people recommend barrel setups. A lot of new guys. Barrel setups is the easiest thing you can do to your gun whenever you start upgrading. Okay. Now, if you're on a budget, I recommend this. A lot of people do too. You get a ZCI type board, 6.02 or 6.01. I'm sorry, ZCI type board. It's really good, nice quality for its price, really nice. G&G green bucking, and you can do the eraser nub mod, or you could even flat hop it. That's easy to do. It's really effective too, and I wouldn't even really change your hop up unless it's not functioning right. If you do, I would highly suggest the Lonex hop up. Now we're talking about M4s for the AK style V3 version 3 rifles. Not too sure what to recommend. Like I said, stock hop ups, really good. I mean, unless they're not functioning how they're supposed to be, you shouldn't change it. Now, if you have a little bit of more of a budget, say you got a few hundred, not a few hundred, let's say you got 200 to spend on a barrel setup. Now, this is for the little bit more experts to do this, is what I would do. You want an EDGI barrel, 6.09. I've even heard of some people using the 5.95, like literally the size of BBs. If you didn't know, most BBs aren't exactly 6mm, they're a little bit under. So they'll use the 5.95 millimeter, and they'll R-hop it. And R-hopping is this little piece of rubber that puts a little bit more hop, if I know correctly. I'm not too familiar with R-hops, but I'm pretty sure it puts a little bit more hop and get your BBs to put out a little bit more range. And then you want the G&G green bucking. A lot of people love that. And you want a Lonex hop up, or A lot of people are running the Crytek rotary hop-up styles. Heard those are really nice. You definitely want. It's definitely a good setup. Okay, got that out of the way, and now we're gonna talk about the gear. For these new guys that are coming into the sport, it's really easy to get intimidated by the guys that are in full multicam with the Cry JPCs and stuff like that, and y'all got y'all's $150 helmet setups. I mean, it can get a little intimidating. First thing, don't be intimidated by these guys. Skill is not determined by your gear. You need to know that now. You can come in there with shorts, slippers, and iPro. You don't even need a shirt. I would highly recommend shorts or something down there. Nobody wants to see that. But you don't need none of this stuff. It's literally stuff that we want. Now, it can help you. I'm not saying that all this is wasted money, but it can help you as in mag pouches and stuff like that. But you could go and get a $15, $20 mesh vest with built-in mag pouches. Work just as good as these $150 plate carriers with these $60 mag pouches. I mean, it can get a little expensive, and everybody will tell you that you don't need none of this stuff. We just kind of like to blow our money. Alright, I got a couple more questions and then I'll close up the video. But have a lot of these people, they get stuck between what kind of gun they want. Now I'm going to put it into three simple categories: AEGs, gas guns, and HPA. Now first off, whenever you come to a field and you've never seen an HPA rifle, you think that's amazing. And they really are. I mean, you got to do very little stuff to them. The main thing about an HPA system is your barrel setup, which by then, if you're dumping money into an HPA system, you want to get the best you really can. I mean, if you're already that high in, if you're already that far in with your gun, put in an HPA system like a Polar Star, SMP, Protec, they're all pretty good. That's the thing about that. It's it goes Polar Star engine, body, and your barrel setup. Not even optic. Like, I don't run an optic sometimes just because I can follow my BBs with my eyes. Like when I'm aiming down sight, or technically not even aiming down sight, just aiming. You can see your BBs. So most of the time I don't really even need an optic. I don't really find it useful sometimes. And some crappier brands, they don't hold their zero very well, so kind of mess up your aim at the end. But HPA is really nice. I highly recommend them if you have the money. I've experienced a few of them and I really like them, but I will not recommend them to a new player just because unless you have that money. Now, gas guns, these are for your more expert players. They Tippmann CO2 guns, those are good. If you still, like here, I'm going to go into more of the gas and then I'm going to go back to the recoil. A lot of people like the gas because they're recoil and the mag sizes are more realistic. That's for your more milsim players that just like the realism to it. Now, if you want an AEG that still has blowback or recoil, you can get the electric blowback. And what that'll do, sometimes they'll have a little weight in the stock, and then they'll have a spring that every time you shoot, it does that. They're not super crazy unless you have the TM recoil shocks. I mean, those are really nice recoil for the gun, but I mean, most of them, if you're getting in the lower end electric blowbacks like APS, that's a crappy one. Except for I heard their Silver Edge gearboxes are getting okay, but I'd still put them on par with JG in my experience. Now JG is still a good brand for its price, but APS is really overpricing their stuff. If you have a crappy EBB electric blowback, it will beat your gearbox to death. And I just don't understand, for the little bit of recoil you're getting, you're beating your whole gearbox to death and you're going to end up dumping more money into it. Now, AEGs are something that I really recommend to everybody. I mean, you could be a pro, a noob, a novice, just a guy who's been in it, but like not really. And he's kind of in between a noob and an expert. He's just an average guy. AEGs are really great. You can do so much to them. It's crazy. There's so many upgrades for that, and even Gaskins, they have some upgrades, but I'm talking about AEGs are the pinnacle of upgrades. You can do so much to them to make them exactly your gun on the inside. Like, you could DSG it, SSG it, ton of things, man. Like, it's crazy. I'm not too familiar with the gearbox myself, but like, I know there's like so many things. Like, you could get up to 40 rounds per second easy if you knew how to get in a gearbox and you knew your way around it. Or, I mean, another reason I recommend them is because you don't have to buy gas and stuff like that. You don't have to go fill your tank all the time. And then you still have a battery for an HPA. It's just a 7.4 LiPo that stays charged for a very long time because it just has to power the trigger board. But AEGs, you just have to have mags, BBs, and stuff like that. But I mean, you just plug in the batteries the night before, you know, get them all charged, and they're good to go. But I mean, that's what I really recommend for most players, and that's what I run myself is AEGs. I'll get into brands probably in another video, what kind you want, what kinds you really want to stay away from. But yeah. Okay, now we're gonna get into comms. A lot of people think I play at a field where it's inside outside. It's not crazy big. It's got, I mean, good places, but a lot of people think I need comms. I need a $75 comm setup. I mean, yeah, they're cool if you're going into like a really big op and stuff. They're really useful. They can help you get objectives done. And even in these pickup games, man, like, you can use them. I mean, they're gonna help, but are they worth it? Like, are you really getting this much of an edge over somebody? I mean, I understand that's important to some players, but it's just as easy, unless you're being super stealthy, to yell out somebody's position or talk to people. You shouldn't be that far away from your teammates unless you're flanking them with maybe one other person. So comms aren't really that special unless you're going to an op. I highly recommend them if you're going to an op. The Baofengs are good, and I like the Midlands too. They're pretty they're nice. But the Baofengs, you can program everything highly customizable with what you need to do. So I think that's about it for this video. But next video, please comment on some things you need me to answer, or some questions that you already know, but you would want me to tell other people. You know, I have a Facebook channel, or a Facebook page, sorry, and you can go add me on that. It's Clutch Airsoft, and just PM that or comment down below. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you.